Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Wednesday Night Mayhem, live and exclusively on YouTube and StreamYard.com. It is Girl MF Michael Fletcher alongside Anthony Floyo and Michael Bullock. Unfortunately, we will not have Dee Dee within here with us tonight, but we are thinking about you, Dee Dee. Hopefully, everything is good with your family. And we're just going to start with the show. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to start with our special Worlds Collide event. Then we're going to go into tonight's action of AEW and NXT. So with that said, we're going to start off with Worlds Collide. That went down on Saturday night from the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas, exclusively on the WWE Network. And when we started it off, we had a match. First off, in a pre-show fight, it was Kaylee Ray versus Mia Yim, and it was Kaylee Ray winning the match in 9 minutes and 15 seconds. We did start the show off with Finn Balor and Ilja Dragovic, and when it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 14 minutes even, the man that does the man that's the ordinary man that does extraordinary things, the Demon King, Finn Balor. He probably didn't have the face paint, doesn't give a damn. He wins the match, 14 minutes even. Great way to start the show. Solid fight. I really got nothing bad to say about this. This was easily 3 stars to start off the night, Anthony. And I'll just toss it off to you.
Well, I'll tell you, MF, 3 to 3.5 is the correct rating for this match. Now, the audience's reaction was less negative than seemingly ignorant of Dragunov, or else they are just going to cheer for NXT US wrestlers in every match regardless. But like in his match with Cesaro over at TakeOver Blackpool 2, Dragunov gained something in defeat. The counters here were a lot of fun. Good opener. So I'm going to give this about 3 to 3.5 as well. So Michael Bullock, come on in. Finn Balor against Ilja Dragunov.
Yeah, I'm going to give it about 3.5 as well. I mean, this was definitely a great way to start off the Worlds Collide event. I mean, Dragunov, I thought looked impressive even in defeat, but obviously no surprise Finn Balor was going to go over on this one. So yeah, 3.5. Let's move on to the next match, Fletch.
Then we had a fatal 4-way for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. The champion, Angel Garza, putting the title on the line against Jordan Devlin, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Travis Banks. When it was all said and done, the winner of the bout in 12 minutes and 5 seconds, the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Jordan Devlin, the Irishman, scoring one for NXT UK. Anthony Florio, our port authority on the Cruiserweight division, because of 205 Live. History has been made in Houston. New Cruiserweight Champion of the World.
Very surprising outcome. Nobody saw this coming. I know I certainly didn't, or none of us did. I believe all of us had Garza retaining, but boy, howdy, what a surprise here. What a major shakeup, to say the very least. 4.25 to 4.5 stars. This was an unbelievable Cruiserweight match. I mean, why can't we get matches like this on 205 Live week in and week out? That's all I can say. I mean, the Irish ace, Jordan Devlin. I mean, I couldn't imagine seeing more action than that in just 12 minutes of time. Now, the Devlin victory, you had to think something special had to happen at this show, and the UK had to take a couple of wins somewhere. It will be very interesting to see where Devlin takes this championship from here and how it affects 205 Live. Banks felt kind of like an also-ran before the match, as he's still firmly in a gatekeeper role, but he got a great featured segment. Garza seemed primed for a long reign, and this show likely changed his plans. And Garza's next move is going to be interesting as well. So, what a win for NXT UK, and what a win for the Irish Ace, Jordan Devlin. And as MF / Gorilla Monsoon just mentioned, history indeed made. So, well done. Congratulations, Jordan Devlin. Very surprising outcome. No doubt about it. So, I'm actually going to tweak it down a little bit. I'm going to give it 4 to 4.25 stars. A little more time than we would have been talking the trigger. But what we got in that 12 minutes of time, it felt a little longer to me. I don't know how it was only 12 minutes, but 4 to 4.25 stars nonetheless. Great matchup. Michael Bullock, history made, a new cruiserweight champion. Jordan Devlin. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody.
Yeah, we all didn't see this coming. I mean, I thought maybe Angel Garza was going to retain, or maybe even somebody else from the NXT. But yeah, you actually got someone from the NXT UK to go over and become the new NXT Cruiserweight Champion. And I'm going to give this about 4 stars. I mean, a little more time, and who knows? I mean, this could have gone higher. And obviously, before the special, guys, they officially made the change over that to now the NXT Cruiserweight title. I mean, Florio, what are your thoughts on the new look belt?
I like it very much.
Fletch?
Very much so. I agree as well. Kind of has a little bit of a look of the Intercontinental title on WWE. It kind of has a little bit of the IC title feel, but I like it.
Yeah, exactly. I like it too. And yeah. I mean, and Florio, the reason why, I mean, you haven't been getting matches like that on 205 Live because remember, it's an hour-long show. It's tough to try to get any good matches like that into a 1-hour show. If it was 2 hours, then perhaps you would get a match like that. But
no, I disagree with that, Michael Bullock. I'm sorry, I got to jump in on this one. We even in 1-hour shows, we had some good matches.
we experienced them ourselves.
Yeah, so no, I disagree with everything you just said there. I think what it is that I kind of feel like WWE is giving up on the cruiserweight division, but
which they shouldn't do, as far as I'm concerned.
I agree with that. Agreed. But if you look at what happened, if you look at how it played out, I mean, that was they did a better job with this match than they've done on 205 Live in the last few months.
And here's another thing, and I don't know how you feel about it. I think we've seen better NXT cruiserweight title matches on NXT than on 205 Live. I mean,
true, but the show is being taped at Full Sail University now, so there's really no excuses for 205 Live to be sucking.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, and they still do it also at the side of where Friday Night SmackDown goes, the 205 Live. But here's the thing, they got to do better with it. Here's the thing, screw having it after 205. Having it after Friday Night SmackDown. Keep it at Full Sail University and do it after NXT.
You could do it.
I'd like to see that happen.
Plausible. Very much
like to see
so.
that.
And you can put it, and you can still put it after Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah, you could tape it.
Here's the thing, guys. We can go on and on about it, but we probably take up the whole night talking about it. So yeah. I'm just gonna move right to Fletch.
All right, fair enough. Get ready, Bullock, because you're probably gonna be talking about the fight of the night. DIY, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano versus Mustache against Mustache Mountain, Trent Severin and Tyler Bate. When it was all said and done, DIY wins. 22 minutes, 55 seconds. Bullock, you lead off.
Without a doubt, this is definitely the fight of the night, hands down. I'm gonna give it 4.5 to 4 3/4. I mean, this was, oh my gosh. I mean, these teams really told a good story in the ring, and Johnny Gargano always has good matches, not only in singles wrestling, but we saw it in tag team wrestling. I mean, you put him and Johnny Gargano back together as DIY. I mean, you saw some of the good things they did when they were together as a tag team. And we've also seen what Mustache Mountain has done in NXT UK. They put on good matches too. You put these two combustible elements together, you're looking at something really, really good. And boy, howdy, we got it. And you know what, guys? I'll even take it a step further. This is the tag team match of the year up to this point. I mean, whether it's NXT, Raw, or SmackDown, that's just how I feel. I don't know how both of you feel about it, but I'm just gonna give it a Fletch right now.
Tag team fight of the year, I absolutely agree with it. I'm not even going to argue that. You could even make an argument that this deserves 5 stars. Like it's right there. It deserves the 5-star rating. I'm gonna say 4 3/4, close to 5. But man, this match was absolutely insane. How this fight ended. Great match, great battle. All 4 tore the house down. The fans were enthralled. They were yelling, "This is awesome." There was a couple of moments where I could even yell "Mamma Mia" on it. This was absolutely just crazy how the fight broke out. At the end of the day, look, I think we all were kind of thinking that maybe Mustache Mountain wins the match because you never know with DIY, but WWE decided, let's award DIY with the victory. Let's award them with the win. Let's award them with the victory, and that's all you got to say about that. For me, I'm happy. Tremendous, tremendous, tremendous victory. Nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, it's yours.
I don't give a damn. I'm pulling the trigger. 5-star classic.
There you go.
5-star classic.
There you go.
Tag team match of the year. I mean, what else is there to say? It figured to be the show's best match. The first 10 minutes with the various shows of respect and the fun spots set the stage before it got stiff and violent. It really didn't matter who won this, as all 4 guys are singles wrestlers who just happen to occasionally wrestle in great teams. But you know what? Before we go on to the next match, this quick statement here and now and clear to the point. It didn't matter who won, because you know who won? All of us. We were the winners. We all won.
I agree with that. I agree with that. No doubt about it.
That was a tag team wrestling masterclass. Go out of your way to see it on the network if you haven't, or if you just want to see it again and again and again and again, I strongly encourage you to do so. Let's move on.
All right. Well, I hate to do this, but this was a tough act to follow. They tried. It was the NXT women's title match. Rhea Ripley, Toni Storm. Rhea Ripley wins the match in 10 minutes and 15 seconds. Look, I'm going to say it. On paper, this would have also been a very high mark, but you knew after what we saw beforehand with the tag team title fight, there was no way they were gonna top it. And they gave a good effort, but I can only give about maybe 3 stars for this. Because the bar was set so high and the fans were probably pooped. They were tired after the tag team fight, and with what was behind coming up. Oh no. Yeah. Sorry. This was the time. This is one of the rare times where I got to yell bad booking by NXT because they hung the girls out to dry on this one. 3 stars. Anthony, it's yours.
3 stars, by default, the worst fight of the night. Now, there was a neck injury here. I'm torn on that. If kayfabe, it gave an excuse for Rhea not to totally dominate an opponent, but it really did have a deleterious effect on the quality of the bout. The crowd completely left for most of it, though it was a perfectly fine match. So 3 stars is all we can give it. Very disappointing. I have very high hopes for this fight as well, but, they were put in a tough spot. I mean, bad booking. Yeah. I would have put this before the DIY Mustache Mountain and then whatever. But, just me. But a solid 3, by default, the worst fight of the night, even though it wasn't that remotely bad. It was just a little underwhelming. That's all there is to say. So, Michael Bullock, what a shame. I mean, these two could have easily given us a 4 to 4.5 star match, but we only got 3 out of it.
Yeah, 3 stars for me. I do agree. I mean, these girls they gave it their best. But like you said, I mean, the crowd really wasn't that much into it because of what we saw in the previous match. And I do agree it was a bad booking. They should have done this match before the tag team match. And who knows, maybe we could have given this a much higher rating. But yeah, and I hate to say that, guys, but it just made Rhea Ripley look like a meaningless champ just because of where she was put after such a great match.
I partially have to disagree with that, Michael Bullock, because Rhea Ripley's a great champion, and the match wasn't bad. It was fine.
Oh,
I kind of have to come after Triple H, Shawn Michaels, and the NXT bookers for putting her in,
which is a rarity.
Which kind of put them in a no-win situation. It kind of is like, okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you did this early in the night, like, this is the way I would have booked it. I would have put the women's fight first. I would let the women go out first, let them fight, or I would have done the Cruiserweight title fight first. Then I would have had the women second. This is where they should have put Balor's fight. Balor versus
I agree.
Dragon Dog
I agree 100%.
would have been the perfect cooldown fight. That would have been the perfect spot to put that fight.
I agree
there.
100% with you on that, Fletch.
So there's nothing more to say. We'll just move along. Main event: Imperium versus Undisputed Era. When it was all said and done, Imperium wins, but they lost a member along the way. Alexander Wolf got hurt, and it looks like he got hurt bad, guys. Anthony Florio, you lead off on the main event. Almost 30 minutes long, 29 minutes and 50 seconds. But Imperium knocks off Undisputed Era. They can make the claim that they have the better stable in NXT.
They certainly can, absolutely. You want to make history again, guys? I'm going to make history again. We had another 5-star classic here, folks. We really did. And that's exactly what this was. Wow. This match ended up being the co-fight of the night here. It was stiff. You can just ask Alexander Wolf. He'll tell you firsthand. Stiff and brutal throughout. Everyone did great work. But the MVP of this match, hands down, the ring general, Walter. I'm not sure if the brand squabble will last, but Walter is in need of realistic challengers to his NXT UK championship. So maybe we'll get something further out of it. But other than that, though, I mean, this was as good as it could get. I mean, the spots in this were amazing. I mean, it lived up to the hype and then some. I said to myself, anything less than 5 stars would be disappointing. That's how high I scored this bout. And I'm not at all surprised that all these guys delivered, even though it was 4-on-3. And what really did it for me was the crowd, for one, and Walter's efforts, and just the overall scope of the match. I mean, I could go on the record and say it may be the greatest 8-man tag team or whatever tag team it was. I mean, and for Imperium to overcome the odds against maybe the most dominant faction in the game today in the Undisputed Era, kudos. Well done. Imperium is here to stay. I lift Alexander Wolf up in prayer. I pray for him. I pray for immediate healing to whatever injury he has, and that the recovery will be as speedy as possible. So I lift you up, Alexander Wolf. Prayers for good health for you, my brother. That's all there is to say on that. So well done. And it capped off what ended up being an amazing Worlds Collide. Far better than I expected. So, but then again, look who the brand is, for goodness sakes. It's NXT. Do you expect anything less? No, absolutely not. Second 5-star classic. There's nothing more to say on this. Michael Bullock, what a main event. Imperium is here to stay.
Yeah, and Florio and Fletch, this is the true definition of main event. These two teams delivered big time. I'm gonna agree. This was a 5-star rating, and yes, I mean, I'll say co-fight of the night as well, because I'm also, you know what, I'm also gonna give that tag team match 5 stars as well. I mean, and you know what, guys, it's just tough to put one over the other. And I agree, the MVP of this match was Walter. I mean, damn, he looked real impressive in this, and there's a reason why he is now the NXT UK champion. He is worthy of it, and he's proven it big time. And I got a lot of high praises for Walter. I mean, I could expect bigger and better things for this guy in the future. So, 5 stars, co-fight of the night, and an awesome way what turned out to be a very, very good Worlds Collide. But Florio said he hit the nail right on the head. It's NXT, for goodness sakes. What else would you expect? Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, there's no argument here. NXT Worlds Collide. The main event was absolutely 5 stars. I totally agree with everything you guys have said. I don't even think there's even worthy for like the overall rating that we're gonna give this. I mean, it's gonna be at least 9.5. I mean, we know it's going to be over 9. Is it worthy of the perfect 10? I kind of got to say no. At least 9.5, Anthony, for NXT Worlds Collide.
It's 9 to 9.5. That's the correct rating for this. This show, which could easily have been a throwaway show, felt like much more given the work in the ring and an intriguing title change. Alexander Wolf's injury looked like it was at least somewhat serious. Here's hoping Rhea's injury was just kayfabe, and it seems Finn Balor may have broken his nose as well. Assuming everyone is healthy or at least somewhat close to that, NXT just had a great show that should also build interest for Portland, as Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano, and you could also make an argument that the Dusty Classic final were both represented. Very high recommendation for this show. I mean, the women's match is the only reason why this is not a perfect 10. If the women's match delivered like that was supposed to, then we would have been talking a perfect 10. But overall, it's between that and the opening match. The other 3 matches were wow. That's all I can say on that. So I believe maybe 9. You know what? I think 9 to 9.25. I think that is the correct rating for this Worlds Collide event. So there's really nothing more to say on this. Fantastic show. It's already a candidate for event of the year, no doubt about it. So there's nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. It's 9 to 9.25 for me.
You know what? I'll give it 9.5. I mean, it was a damn good show, and I'll say it, guys. It was better than the Royal Rumble event over the weekend. I mean, but like you said, what else would you expect when it's NXT? I mean, and I do agree. If the women's match was better, we could have. It would have been flirting with a perfect 10. But it's only 9 to 9.5 because it did underdeliver a little bit. So yeah, there's really nothing more to say. 9 to 9.5. So with that being said, Fletch, I think it's time to talk about AEW Dynamite.
All right, and with that said, we are going to lead off with AEW Dynamite, and tonight, AEW from Cleveland, Ohio, at the Wolfstein Center. We started it off with a promo segment. John Moxley, and it was interrupted by Chris Jericho. I gotta say it was a very good opener. I'm not gonna complain. Um, it just feels. It didn't feel like the normal cliche that you can expect from AEW. It was good. The thing is, Moxley and Jericho, they're really good. Great on mic, great chemistry. You already know the match is going to be unbelievable. It's going to be a great fight, no doubt about it. I am just, I wasn't as enthusiastic about the promo. I thought they did a really good job, but I'm not like saying, that's something we're going to remember tonight. I mean, we'll remember it. It was good, but I'm not like over the moon over it. Let's just say that. Maybe I'm being a little harsh, maybe, but Anthony, it's yours.
Something we can both agree on. You were a little bit harsh on that, MF. I actually loved the segment. It was an entertaining segment with Moxley and Jericho, their pure selves. The idea of Moxley fighting 10 guys at once because the fans had his back was kind of weird, but so is John Moxley, so it works. And I like seeing the Inner Circle together as a unit, and I would like to see that more often. AEW should not do lengthy in-ring promos to start Dynamite each week because it'll turn into the other show, if you know what I mean. But it's a good part of the mix compared to going straight to the ring every week without context or building up a backstory. So, and as expected, it is official. It will be Chris Jericho and John Moxley, AEW Revolution, February 29th, a month from now, for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. That's a proven show stealer right there in Chicago. So there's really nothing more for me to say. Entertaining segment. I enjoyed it for the most part. So nothing more to say. Bullet, let's get your quick thoughts.
Yeah, I agree. I think it was an entertaining segment. I mean, it really wasn't anything special to say the very least. I mean, yeah, I mean the interaction with John Moxley and Chris Jericho. I mean, and I do agree with the trying to get the Inner Circle more together as a united group. And yeah, now the match is official for AEW Revolution. It will be John Moxley, Chris Jericho for the AEW World Title. So nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move right along.
MF, are you there?
Fletch, you there?
I mean, he's not muted.
Yeah, he's not muted, but
well, I'll
wonder if he must have stepped away for a moment.
Yeah, I did. I'm here. I'm here, guys.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
All right. So next up, we had was the Young Bucks versus the Butcher and the Blade. Young Bucks wins the match in 8 minutes and 38 seconds. And yeah, Anthony Florio, it's yours.
I'm going to give it 3.25 stars for the effort. Good tag match with the right winners. The Bucks were good baby faces, gave Butcher and Blade a lot. And post-match, they continued the stuff with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega. So that's all I can say on that. 3.25 stars for me. If pressed, I would say this was the second best fight of the night for me. So nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
3 stars for me. I mean, I thought it was a good match. I mean, the Young Bucks and the Butcher and the Blade really look good here. But there was one part of the whole match that really irritated the hell out of me. Any guesses, guys?
Oh, yeah. Mr. Underoos, MJF, right, Bullock?
Exactly. I mean, why the hell did we need this guy on commentary? Really?
Oh.
I mean, I mean, I could have gone without the whole MJF being on commentary. I mean,
big distraction.
It was a big distraction, and it felt like it took a little bit away from the match because
a little. Hell no, a lot away from the match. You kidding me?
I mean, come on. I mean, this is the one part I am going to criticize AEW for. I mean, the match would have been fine without this guy on commentary, but you had to put him on just so he can brag like a pretty boy little douchebag that he is. No, sorry. I'm calling AEW out on this one. I don't like it one bit. I mean, the match was good, but I could have gone without the whole MJF as a guest commentator. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, fair enough. No doubt, no problem with that. You know what? I'm gonna say about 2.5 stars. I don't really think there's anything else to add here. I think you guys pretty much summed it up for me here. So we're just gonna move right along. Nyla Rose going 1-on-1 with Big Swole. Nyla Rose wins the match in 8 minutes and 16 seconds. Yeah, nothing more to say. So, Mike Bullock, it's yours.
I can only give this about 2.25 stars for me. I mean, I just think this match could have been a lot better, but and this is another reason why this women's division is failing right now in AEW. And I can understand why Florio is really critical of the whole thing. And this is another prime example. Nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, no, I gotta say that I you know what? I'm gonna say it. I gotta say it's only a 2-star fight. Disappointment is the key word here. Could have been better? Absolutely. It just never really transpired, never really worked. I got nothing more to say. Anthony, it's yours.
I'm actually going to be a little bit nicer here. A little, keyword little. 2.5. It was a solid but rough at times match to put Nyla Rose over as the top contender. But I did feel Big Swole was more impressive overall, if I'm going to be quite honest. So that's a future women's star in the making if they give her the right seasoning. So,
okay.
Yes, the women's division continues to be a mess. Your best talent is, I mean, your 2 best talents. I mean, you got the champion Riho, who's hardly seen, and your other great talent who cut another scathing promo, which well, I'll get more into that in a moment. So that's all I can say. Let's move on. 2.5.
All right. Well, before we get to that skating promo that you're talking about, Florio, there was a match. Cody Rhodes 1-on-1 with Kip Sabian. Cody Rhodes wins the match in 11 minutes and 38 seconds. Paint by numbers type of a match. Very good battle. I really got nothing more to say. This is about 3 stars. All right. The only thing I'm not really happy about is the Arn Anderson thing and what Penelope Ford was trying to do. We didn't need that. We didn't need the interference. We didn't need the the top booking. That's something you see in Impact. That's something you see in WWE. Come on, AEW. Don't fall for the stupid gimmick bullshit. All right? Because that's what you're giving us. Stupid gimmick bullshit. We don't need that.
Stupid.
We don't need that. You're better than this AEW. People saying that you're the alternative to WWE. You're the alternative. That you're better than them. Well, when you do this, you're just like them. You don't impress me one bit by doing that. Anthony, it's yours.
Stupid gimmick BS. I'll do you one better. It's amateur punk stuff. That's what it is. It's amateur punk stuff. I mean, you don't get paid for that, do you? Amateur punk stuff. Let's get it right. But anyways, 2.5. It's another 2.5 for me. Cody was great, and I loved him going MDK for the win. But the Sabian character continues to be too overbooked and hasn't really impressed at all to me so far. This was very average. Penelope Ford, I mean, she's basically their version of Selena Vega. And technically, this was Cody's worst AEW match, but it was not his fault at all. So that's really all I can say on that. I mean, I love Penelope Ford. She's a beautiful woman. Cue the heart eye emoji. But that's all I can say on that. So I'm sorry, MF. I got to slightly disagree. I got to give this 2.5 for the effort. So, Michael Bullock, come on in and get your thoughts on it.
I'm going to say 2.5 to 3. I mean, I agree with everything Fletch said. I mean, the match was fine for what it was. We don't need any of this stuff here. I mean, come on, you're not WWE. This is AEW. I thought you're supposed to be better than this. Come on, Derek Ferreira. Where's the effort from your competition in AEW? You guys need to be better than this. And you're giving us shit like this? No. I don't like it one bit. And Derek, you know what I'm going to say to you? Your boys need to continue to get better, or NXT is going to kick your ass big time. Yes, I'm calling you out on that. Fletch, it's yours.
All right. Well, I wasn't going to call Ferreira out directly because I didn't think I know he's very high on AEW, but I wasn't going to go there. But all right, Bullock did. He fired the shot. I'm not going to stop that. All right. Next up was the promo by the one and only Tony Schiavone. Once again, getting an opportunity to talk to Dr. Britt Baker, and Anthony, she opened fired on our boy again.
Now, I love Tony Schiavone. I do. But I'm going to be honest here. I couldn't put this segment down. I mean, when I heard those words coming out of that beautiful angel's mouth, I swear I could literally hear angels sighing. Ah, that is all that's what was going on in my mind. And once again, cue the heart eye emoji as well. I mean, yes, I know she could be one day the future Mrs. Adam Cole. I get it. But Adam Cole, you are a lucky, lucky man, my man. I mean, wow. I mean, I thought last week was good. This was even better. I mean, she didn't just go after my boy, Tony Schiavone. She went after your boy, MF, the reason for your namesake, Jim Ross, JR. I mean, just amazing. And then how she closed it out, telling Cleveland they finally have a Baker they can trust in. Big time shot at Baker Mayfield. So, but then again, why not? I mean, Cleveland Browns, hello, you let us all down this year. You let me down, especially. I believed in you guys, and that's that's what you gave me this year. I can't tell you how utterly disappointed I was in that team, but that's a story for another day. So, But Dr. Britt, well done, my dear. I think this heel turn is going to do wonders for her. Absolute wonders. That's all I can say on that. That's a future women's champion right there. I could possibly see her being the one to dethrone Riho if it's not Nyla Rose. So, absolutely loved it. For me, from a personal standpoint, it was my favorite segment of the night. But, you know, I kind of like that other one a little bit better from a professional standpoint. So, that's all I can say on that. So, well done, darling. The heel turn is going to do wonders for you. Keep doing what you're doing. You told it like it was, darling, just like I do on this show each and every time. So, nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, Dr. Britt, man, she's a bad, bad girl, and I love it.
All I can say is, damn, Dr. Britt Baker, tell us how you really feel. Woo! My goodness, I mean, this to me, guys, was the total definition of a heel promo right here. I mean, wow. I mean, going after Tony Schiavone and one of our favorites, Jim Ross. Whoa. And then for her to tell the crowd in Cleveland that you finally have a Baker. Literally taking a shot at Baker Mayfield. Damn. She really came out on fire with this. And this heel turn is definitely going to make things really good for her. So, I really got nothing more to say. Fletch, I guess we can all say Dr. Britt Baker is one bad, bad girl.
Yeah, no. Solid promo. Nothing more to say. I don't even think I can even add anything more. This was just power, fire, fury, whatever you want to say. This was as good as it could have gotten. Yeah, she's full fledged heel. She's full fledged heel, and I think a lot of people are gonna embrace it. Easy shot at Baker Mayfield. That was an easy target to go after. I'm not surprised she opened fired on that one. So yeah, let's just move right along. We had the Hybrid 2 versus SCU in tag team action. When it was all said and done, the winners of the bout, 12 minutes and 22 seconds, SCU wins it. I believe this goes to Michael Bullock. So, Bullock, it's yours.
This was a good match here. I'll give it about 3.25 for the effort here. I mean, I'm sure you saw guys that what SCU did coming out with the Kobe Bryant jerseys, obviously paying tribute to the late great Kobe Bryant there. So yeah, there's really nothing more to add. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, I know. Very, very cool. Very cool on the behalf of showing the props and the love to Kobe Bryant. We're gonna be doing our tribute to him tomorrow night at 10 p.m. Eastern on this very network. But as far as tonight go, yeah, it was a good fight, solid match, about 3 stars. Really nothing more to say. Anthony, I give it to you.
Three stars is my rating. Good tag match with the former champions getting a rebound win, and Helico, Jack Evans, they're not really doing anything for me. They're continuing to flounder for me. So that's all I can say. So 3 stars, 3-star effort though. Nice rebound win for the former champs after losing the titles to Hangman and Omega last week on the cruise. So nothing more to say. 3 stars, and I believe it is main event time.
Main event, 6-man tag team fight. The Private Party and Darby Allin versus 3 members of the Inner Circle: Chris Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz. Inner Circle wins the match in 12 minutes and 28 seconds. Good main event. Nothing too amazing to talk about. I could give this I could say probably another 3-star match. to say the very least. Nothing more to add. Anthony, go.
Slight disagreement, MF. This to me was my fight of the night. I'm giving it 3.5 stars. It was really good. Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz worked very well together as a trio. Darby Allin got the shine here, but the Inner Circle continues to dominate in the ring. So that's really all I can say on this. So 3.5 stars. Fight of the night for me. Michael Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, 3.5 for me. Good match. This was definitely the fight of the night, no doubt. So nothing more to add. Let's get to our overall thoughts on this edition of AEW Dynamite.
Anthony, you start off.
7 out of 10 for me. This week's episode was an overall good show as they continued the build to Moxley and Jericho. Set the stage well for next week. Had mostly good wrestling, and while I felt like it wasn't as good as last week, it lacked the energy of recent weeks at times. But it was, an easy watch for the most part. I mean, another big show next week, as we are going to have Cody. Cody's going to take the 10 lashes from MJF. Ortiz of Inner Circle will go one-on-one with Jon Moxley. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, against Yuka Sakazaki. And in a huge 8-man tag team main event, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, and Kenny Omega against the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Brothers. There's a show stealer right there, that 8-man. So that's all I can say on that. Cleveland State University, the Wolstein Center. That's on the campus of Cleveland State University. Some NCAA tournament games have emanated from there in years past. So a nice, cozy, comfy venue. Well done. That's all I can say on that. So 7 out of 10. That's the best I can go. So nothing more to say. Bullock, what says you?
I say a slight disagreement. I'm going to go 6.5 out of 10. I mean, yeah, there were some good things, but there were some things that did rub me the wrong way. So nothing more to add. Fletch, it's yours.
6.5 to 7 out of 10 for me. It was a very good show. There's really nothing more to add here. So we're just going to move right along and go right into NXT. Started it off with Finn Balor one-on-one with Trent Severin. Balor wins the match in 10 minutes and 9 seconds. Michael Bullock, you lead off. Actually, no.
All right.
I was. Who led off on the main event? It was me. So actually, Anthony, I'll start you off with it.
Fair enough. I'm gonna give it 3 stars for the effort. If I'm gonna be honest, it was a solid opener, to say the very least, and yeah, it was nice to see Trent stick around for another match. He had no chance given Finn's position and upcoming match with Johnny Gargano, but for a long beatdown, it was still okay, given that Trent got a few hope spots in the end. So that's really all I can say on this. So I'm gonna give it a solid 3 for the effort. So there's nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, come on in. Obvious outcome with Finn going over, because they want to give him clear momentum, go ahead of what we all know is going to be a show stealer with Gargano.
Oh yeah, you wanted to give Finn Balor some momentum going into that match at Takeover Portland against Johnny Gargano, which to me I think is going to steal the show, no doubt about it. So a nice win here. I mean, 3 stars for me. I mean, Trent did get a little bit of offense, but the pre-match attack really took something away from Trent Seven. So nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, 3.5 stars. Really good match. Really nothing more to add. We're just gonna move right along. All right, now this is your call, guys. You guys got to say on this. Shotzi Blackheart versus Diana Purrazzo. Blackheart wins the match in 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Would you want to talk about it? Yes or no? It's up to you guys. Cut out. All right.
Yeah.
I kind of have a feeling that was going to happen. Well, we ain't cutting this one out. Ladies and gentlemen, the new NXT North American Champion Keith Lee cut in a promo, interrupted by Damian Priest, also interrupted by Donovan Dijakovic. It led to a match, one-on-one, and that the winner of this fight becomes the #1 contender for the North American Championship, the winner of the bout. In 5 minutes, Donovan Dijakovic, he will now get a shot at Keith Lee North American Championship sometime down the line. Michael Bullock, I give it to you, bro.
What did you get for the what was the time?
5 minutes even.
It was a fine match. I'll give it about maybe. I'll give this about maybe 2 stars for the effort. I mean, it was a short match, but I'll tell you what. I mean, now Dominic Dijakovic is going to be the #1 contender. Guys, we know some of the matches that they've had. They've been really good. And now with the NXT North American Championship on the line, oh boy. I cannot wait to see these two go at it again. So, nothing more to say. Fletch, looks like we got Keith Lee and Dominic Dijakovic once again, but only this time with the NXT North American title on the line.
Yeah, this is going to be good, man. This is going to be wicked good. Hard fight, good title match. I'm impressed. Good job. Nothing more to say on this one. Yeah, this is about, I could say about 2.5 to 3. Good fight. Anthony, it's yours.
The time of the fall was different. I have 8 minutes and 40 seconds on my end. But,
well, I got 5 minutes on TV time.
Fair enough, but they did have it as the on that split screen commercial thing. So
that's why I think they said TV time.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna go based on what I personally saw, and this was a 3.25 star match in my book. Now we saw enough of these two in the triple threat with Lee that we know that they work well together, and both work well with Lee. So it was anyone's match. This was a de facto #1 contenders match, and given our proximity to take over Portland, I assume that's the place. And yes, I can't think of a better first challenger for Keith Lee and his newly won North American Championship than a man that has given him, that I think has pushed him more to his limits than anyone else, and that is Dominic Dijakovic. With the way this card is shaping up right now, this could be perhaps the greatest takeover we have seen yet. Get ready, Portland. I mean, the first ever Sunday night takeover. Usually we do these on Saturdays before the big events, but we're getting a rare Sunday night one. And I'll tell you what, I think a lot more people are going to be tuned into this. But then again, you know, with the NBA, it's going to be on the same night as the NBA All-Star game, and you have to imagine there's going to be a lot of Kobe stuff on that. Wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. We'll see. So, but for me, 3.25 stars. I would probably say second best fight of the night for me. So, Lee and Dijakovic one more time, North American title on the line. Sign me up. Let's go.
All right. So with that said, we're just gonna move right along. The next thing we had was a major promo segment, as it was Kathy Kelly talked with Tommaso Ciampa as it pertained to the, I guess you could say, the NXT title. As everything came off, I believe it was actually just announced Adam Cole will fight against Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT World title. So think about this. NXT TakeOver, 3 matches already announced, guys. We got Finn Balor versus Johnny Gargano, Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley for the NXT Women's title, and now Adam Cole versus Tommaso Ciampa for the NXT World title. Man! Portland! Huh. Segment of the night? Anybody? Florio?
Yeah.
Yes, for me.
Would you like me to, get
If
into
you
it?
want, if you want to elaborate, go. Yeah.
Now, we usually, don't usually wax poetic about, wax too poetic about non-match segments. But if you didn't see this, it's worth it. Tommaso Ciampa basically channeled his inner fiend. He signed the contract in his own blood, guys. No idea how management is going to react, but it was a special moment that should be used in every video package that promotes TakeOver between now and the 16th. I mean, this was perfectly well done. I mean, this was one of the better in-ring segments on an NXT in quite some time. I mean, we're not surprised that this is the match we're getting, but the way they set this up, wow. To have Ciampa take out Strong, O'Reilly, and Fish with the weapon, leaving them all laying, and then putting Adam Cole through the table with the yellow X marked on it. X marks the spot indeed. And then Regal coming out, and he said, I was basically going to give you the title shot anyway. So there you have it. It's now official. Adam Cole will defend the NXT Championship against Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, only 3 official matches, yes, but you have to imagine, we'll make it 4 because we're going to have a tag team title defense from O'Reilly and Fish. We'll find out who they'll be defending against because it will be against the winners of the Dusty Cup, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. That's 4 right there, all potential to be show stealers. And then if you throw Lee and if you make it Lee and Dijakovic, now it's not official yet, but if you make it Lee and Dijakovic for the North American Championship, ladies and gentlemen, you've got yourself the greatest takeover card of all time. Anything less than a perfect 10 would be considered disappointing.
Yeah.
So, you know me, I don't impress easy, but I'm damn impressed. That's all I can say on this. This was the segment of the night, hands down.
Yeah, I agree. This is definitely the segment of the night, hands down. I mean, now we know it's official. It's going to be Tommaso Ciampa, Adam Cole for the NXT Championship at TakeOver Portland. I mean, yeah, I agree with everything you said. I mean, if you add this to Balor and Gargano and Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, and the potential NXT Tag Team title fight, I think you're looking at a really good TakeOver special. So, yeah, nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Well, all right. Well, the next match we had, well, this was highly anticipated. Tegan Knox going one-on-one with Dakota Kai. The fight only lasted 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Unless, Floyo, you got a longer time, because I got 3:13 with Tegan Knox winning the match. So
no, I got 3:14.
Yeah, man. For all the hype and all the excitement, that fight really underwhelmed. What the hell, guys? Michael Bullock, I gotta call your NXT out. What the hell? I'm sorry, I gotta throw you boys under here. This was one of the most highly anticipated fights after everything that went down in NXT War Games, and you give us 3 minutes and 13 seconds worth of crap?
There's a reason for this. There's a method to this madness.
All right. If you can find it, Floyo, give it to me, because right now I don't.
A match like Knox and Kai should not go long given the blood feud nature. And this being the first meeting. That said, the focus transitioned away from the match almost immediately after it was over, which really downplayed the importance of the feud. It's not over. But I have no idea what Dakota Kai is supposed to do after her extremely brief Royal Rumble appearance, followed by a quick loss in a feud match the following Wednesday. It's a blood feud nature. It's the first meeting. They shouldn't give away too much. Can you justify that, MF?
I guess I'm just. Yeah.
It's not over. There's plenty more. I think eventually we will get another match, and I think it will be a longer and better match. But at least for right now, it's only the first match. It's a blood feud nature.
But blood feuds don't end that fast. That was something I don't know. I just felt I was expecting something more. I was expecting something a lot more than that.
I agree. I
mean, that's the one thing I got the problem with.
I agree. I'm right there with you.
And that's the problem that I had.
I was expecting at least 3.5 to 4 on this one.
Well, I wasn't looking for rating that match, but I mean, 5 minutes, 7 minutes at least. You could have gone there. Anyway, maybe I'm pulling that tea leaves, or maybe I'm just. My expectations were a lot more higher than what they gave us because I was not happy at all. Anyway, next up we had was Chelsea Green 1-on-1 with Kaden Carter. Chelsea Green Kaden Carter, won the match in 3 minutes and 9 seconds. We don't need to waste time on that either. Let's go to the main event, the big one, the final of the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. It was the Grizzled Young Veterans versus Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle. I'm not even going to attempt to call them the Broserweights, I guess is what they call themselves, the Broserweights.
That's it.
All right. So when it's all said and done, the winners of the match, 17 minutes, 39 seconds, the winners of the 2020 Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, the Broserweights, Pete Dunne and Matt Riddle, they win the tournament. They now receive a title match for the NXT Tag Team titles. Who leads off on this? Florio, I guess I'll let you lead off. So go Anthony, it's all yours.
This was hands down the fight of the night here, MF. No question about this. 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, very good match. Though I would have taken a lot less 4-man action and more of a well-wrestled classic tag match. But that aside, all 4 men, of course, brought a lot to the table. And the electric chair spot on Dunne on the outside was something to behold. Made Mauro Ranallo go, Mamma Mia, though he recovered from it far too quickly. Now, we'll have to wait and see on this, but Grizzled Young Veterans, I'll be honest, they surprised me a lot. They made it an enjoyable tournament while they were around, and we'll see what happens. But as of right now, it stands to be the Broserweights against Fish and O'Reilly for the NXT Tag Team Championship. On top of what else we have, the only match I do have a small concern about is the women's match. I'm not going to lie, but I am hopeful that Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair will deliver in spades. But other than that match, all the other matches, Cole and Ciampa, Balor and Gargano, and now with this tag team championship matchup with Fish and O'Reilly against Riddle and Dunne, and this is already shaping up to be the greatest NXT TakeOver card of all time. This is how you sell a first ever Sunday night. You want to experiment? Don't be a failure like Tuesday in Texas was. That was a complete and utter failure. Even though it had a couple of moments on there. But They don't want just a couple of moments. They want every match to be a moment. Look at the 4 matches we're getting. How can there not be a moment in any of them? Greatest takeover card of all time, folks. It's coming. Lee and Dijakovic would top it. You put that on top of it, done. Done, done, done. Greatest takeover card ever. I don't care what anybody says. Congratulations to the Broserweights. I'm not at all surprised I had them winning this match going in. But damn it to hell, what a match it was. And if you want a better quality match, putting Dunn and Riddle against Fish and O'Reilly, show stealer. Hello. Nothing more to say. Fight of the night, 3 3/4 of a star. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock. Look at this, man. Look at this card. Look at this Portland card we're getting. This is the greatest takeover card I've ever seen. Come on, Bullock. Your thoughts?
I agree. And I'll take it a step further. I think this may give Worlds Collide a run for its money. That's just how I feel. But anywho, 3 3/4 of a star. I agree. This was definitely the fight of the night, hands down. Congratulations to the Broserweights for winning the Dusty Rhodes Classic. So, yeah, there's nothing more to say. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, all right. 3.5 stars. This was a great match, no doubt about it. Let's go into the overall review, guys. So, Mike Bullock, you lead off, man. Give me your thoughts on NXT.
I'm gonna give this about 6.5 for me, 6.5 to 7. I mean, there were a couple of matches that were pretty disappointing. I mean, even though the one real disappointing one was the Tegan Knox Dakota Kai match, but I do agree with Florio. I mean, I think we're going to get another match between these two, and I think it will go longer than that. So I'm not really going to poo-poo all over it like Fletch did. So 6.5 to 7 for me. Probably would say pretty much the same as AEW was. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, about 6.5 for me. There was a lot of fights that were pretty much cutouts. Keith Lee's thing was pretty cool. The main event was excellent. The opening was all right, but there was a lot of filler along the way this time around. Not the most polished or perfect NXT that we've been getting lately. I could even say this was kind of a step back for NXT, believe it or not, which is very shocking. So yeah, neither NXT or AEW really did anything special for me tonight. Anthony, it's yours.
7 out of 10 as well. While this was not one of the better episodes of NXT lately, it was still really good. We had a strong main event, some serious angle advancement, and the Ciampa Cole segment came off very well. It was another 2-hour show that flew by. A lot of pieces moved toward TakeOver Portland, where we'll get Ciampa and Cole, Gargano and Balor, Ripley and Belair, Broserweights, Undisputed Era, and probably Lee and Dijakovic. I also would not be surprised to see more out of the Knox and Kai feud. Knox did deserve a huge measure of revenge, but if Kai doesn't strike back quickly, her character will be dead in the water. Chelsea Green's spot is baffling as well and may hurt Robert Stone as a manager more than it hurts her, but we'll wait to see the next step there as well. In a post-Shayna era, the women's division was left very strong. There were 3 women's matches tonight, though the minutes were brief. But easily the highlight of this was seeing Ciampa sign the contract in his own blood like The Fiend did on the last SmackDown. So I would consider it a draw, but I would give a slight little nudge for NXT because of that incredible main event. That's what I would if it ends in a tie, but the tiebreaker would be when it came to their fights, their respective fights of the night, which one was better? Hands down, it was the Dusty Cup. So a slight nod to NXT here. So nothing more to say. It's a 7 for me. So So MF, let's put the bow on this thing.
All right, so we are indeed going to do it. We're going to end it tonight. Tomorrow night, a very special edition of Strictly Sports as we honor the life and the career of Kobe Bryant. We're also going to honor Gianna, and we're also going to honor some of the people who also lost their lives in last Sunday's tragedy. I mean, there was a lot of stories that's been coming out that we'll talk about, especially a couple of the people, the families who got affected by this. An assistant coach of the Mamba team that was Kobe's team, that was an AAU team. 3 team members of that team. Not only just Gigi, which is Gianna Bryant, who is kind of the captain of the team, but the 2 other girls that were on was a part of the team. I mean, if you've seen the videos on YouTube, they are a dynamic. There was a big 3, and these were 2 of the big 3 on the team that I saw. Unfortunately, they lost their lives in the accident, and we're going to have comments and reaction from Anthony, from Bullock, myself, and I'll also be talking about some of the reaction that was from a lot of people from around the world, players, coaches, and today, Vanessa Bryant finally revealed her thoughts about what happened, and we'll give you her comments tomorrow as well. So, yeah, very sad. It'll be at 10 p.m. Eastern. There's really nothing more to add. So, thank you, Anthony Floyo. Thank you, Michael Bullock. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.